Hello. Today I wanted to tell you an interesting story about how I almost got scammed by a manager in a very famous agency. And I'm gonna get ready using some of these products from Romand as well that I've purchased recently. Just wanted to share with you as well. And we'll do this makeup right here. Thank you. So as always, I begin with fresh face. It's a morning for me, so I'm a little sleepy. I did exfoliation on my skin. Nowadays I can't use chemical or any kind of acid exfoliations. Unfortunately, I have to do topical exfoliators, so like microbeads. Then I put my deeply hydrating moisturizer, including around the eyes as well. And then I put my sunscreen on, so I'm a little shiny, but also I feel like my skin looks pretty fresh and ready to go. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do my makeup for my ASMR videos. So it's a heavier application just because I use a lot of lights in my videos. I like to do a bit more contouring, you'll see, with the bronzer. And all of my makeup needs to be a little bit darker and a little bit more contrasted, because otherwise I get washed out by lights and look like a zombie. So I'll begin by just doing a bit of lightening in the corners. I'll have to do pretty quickly because I'm planning on recording 2 ASMR videos today for your enjoyment. Nowadays I do 2 videos almost every single time I record because, as you know, I'm pregnant, so I'm going to be due sometime in February, and my plan is to have a lot of extra videos coming out while I'm going to be on basically maternity leave. So majority of pregnant women, I believe, do that, who are content creators. I hope they do that. So you just basically double up your work during pregnancy. If you worked regularly during pregnancy, you have to do twice the amount of the work, so that when you're on your leave, you get a chance to relax a bit more and spend more time with your child without losing that algorithm that will punish you and completely make you disappear on YouTube platform. The first step I did is use this very old eraser under eye concealer. On top I'll do a tiny little bit right here, just in the corners, of this Boing Cakeless Concealer by Benefit. So I've been on YouTube for about 10 years and I have never had a manager. I am paralyzed with fear about any type of contracts that have to do on the long term. So I much prefer to work with people on short-term contracts, so we're sort of subcontractors to each other. And I know a lot of people do have managers or sign up for partnerships and MSNs and all that kind of stuff, but I have never done it in my life because I don't trust anyone so far, just because I have not heard anyone sounding proper. A lot of them sound like trouble. I don't know. None of them actually connect. None of them create a sense of connectivity or authenticity, that I'm actually talking to a real person. I'm not going to be just a number that they're just trying to rip off. I've heard terrible stories of people getting signed up and then having contracts that they had to uphold for a long time and would just pay out large amounts of their earned money to some random middlemen who are just in there not doing any actual work. So it's really hard to go through that. So one day this August, I got an email from a lady named Grace Fisher, and from now on you will know that this is not her real name. So if I'm using this name, it doesn't actually mean that there's a Grace Fisher that I'm trying to accuse of doing any wrong. It's just this person used that name. So I'm going to call her Grace. And her email was from a very famous management company, a PR company, a management company in New York. Her email was very long, very detailed. So she sounded the most genuine I have ever heard anybody to sound, and at the same time very professional. So We could not find her on LinkedIn or anything else like that. But again, her emails were just very descriptive and very long. I mean, it takes you like 15 minutes just to read that one email. And she went over the contracts, the information, how we would work together. So like every single thing was laid out, the plan was presented, and it was just brilliant. And since I'm pregnant, as you know, right, and I will have 2 children starting next year, I have been thinking about, easing my load a little bit, and having to outsource some of the work. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, sorry. I didn't tell you about the powder. So my powder I use right here is House Labs, and it's Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder in translucent color. I haven't had a high-end powder, like blurring powder, in a very long time, so I'm really excited to have this one, and I must say, I recommend. Okay, so you set it and forget it, and it does not bunch up like other powders do. I found about a bunch of these things from an influencer. She's a Russian-speaking influencer who lives in Poland, and I adore her. And we have a very similar complexion and very similar, I feel like, outlook on some of the things in life. And again, she's a YouTube creator as well. Her name is Ola. She's very sweet. So she makes a lot of suggestions, and a lot of those things I have purchased myself and love them and swear by them now. So that's my setting powder. So I did it all around my eyes. Then I brushed my eyebrows. Obviously, I'm going to use my pencil. I've told you this story many times. It's a drawing kid's pencil from Russia. I don't have an even face anyway. I have like this side of my face is much higher. Like more elevated. This one's like dragging down, if you see. This corner of the lip is going down. You can actually see this eyebrows lower. This whole side is lower. Versus this one, look at that. Here, much less sagging. This eyebrow's going up. And like this whole side is more up, and this one's more down. So I could probably really get a bit specific about it and try figuring out how to fix some of it, but I don't worry about it right now in my life. So after about a few days, I did not reply to this manager because I wanted to see kind of what's going to happen. And at the end, she reached out again with another long message and tried to persuade me again to try and maybe work together. And again, it was a very excited pitch that was very grounded in authenticity, in working together. And again, just the point that she took so much time to write very elaborate messaging that felt very personal. I started sort of trusting her more after the second email. So I replied, and I'm like, okay, let's maybe consider working together. Especially, again, it was such a big brand. Like, it was a very established company. I'm gonna put a name somewhere, but I don't want to use their name anywhere in title, because at the end, that was not one of their employees. So moving on to eyeshadows real quick. As you know, I am obsessed with the brand Romand. This brand, you probably can see it. This is my favorite palette that I've used for a couple years now. And I still use to this day, and it's still here, and I use it virtually every single day. And I also have this gray kind of nude tones that I also enjoy. So that beautiful influencer suggested trying out their small palettes, and it's this one that I got, and I am obsessed. So this is called Dry Buckwheat, I believe. This is an everyday palette. At least for my coloring, it's absolutely amazing. You'll see when I apply it, it looks delicious. And these are all of the colors that you probably need. So you can see your base, your crease, your contrast, and then your shine. Beautiful. So beautiful, you guys. I love it. So I'm going to use this palette today. So we started talking back and forth. I told her how much I appreciate that she is so in depth with her work that she's so personal and seems to be very authentic. So we decided to talk on the phone before, we consider any more working together. And she actually suggested talking on the phone. So I agreed. And we set up the time, we tried calling each other, and there was a little glitch where she couldn't reach me, and my phone kept sending her phone to a scammer. So like it would show a scam and it would block the phone number and wouldn't even allow it to go through, which was very surprising to me. So I said that to her. She said, "Oh, that's very weird." She says, "I'm at the airport, so maybe like there's some kind of blocking happening." She says, "I'm between the flights." And she was flying from London to New York. We ended up still calling to each other, but she had to use a Skype phone number because her phone number just kept going through the spam for me, and I just was not able to even pick it up. That should be in a big red flag, but it wasn't, because again, she kept responding and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't really know what's happening, let's try a different way." So she was working around it, you know what I'm saying? And it sounded genuine. And use the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal brown. It's like a brown color for my wing. So you can see I did the corners with this brown. So anyway, so we chatted after that for about an hour. We talked about the rates, some of the promotions that she has. She says that her company finally approved to have ASMR to be included in their campaigns. It was never really established for them, so they never really wanted like ASMR artists to represent, any brands of theirs. And she told me, they're working with incredible brands like Chanel and Dior and Sephora, Louis Vuitton, like high-end clients who love to establish long-term relationships. And I got excited. I got sucked into it, and I was like, wow, okay, I wouldn't mind working with such great established companies, So we continued chatting. I told her I was pregnant because it was in August, so I didn't announce yet, but I figured it would be fair to tell her. So I told her I was pregnant. And I told her my whole plan, that I won't be able to do any sponsorships while I'm on leave and while I have a small baby, and it will be much harder for me to commit to anything long term and then not being able to deliver. I would hate that. She says, if you want, I can look at your old contracts with other brands, which I work with, like Pebble, She almost sounded like a little disappointed that I didn't charge more, that I would do all this work and have great views and not be compensated. So she genuinely sounded concerned. She's like, okay, I really want to help you with your past contracts too, and I won't charge you for it. I'm like, okay, of course. So I let her on my previous account emails. So she introduced herself, asked for higher rates for projects and stuff like that. And that's when things got a little different. So those companies that I usually work with, who reach out to me with Bevel and Scentbird and all these other brands, Helix and stuff. So they all reached out to me and they say, yeah, we're not going to work with this person because we've had information that there's a lot of scammers who are pretending to be managers from these companies, and we're not willing to work with this person. So they legit straight up say it to me and her in the response. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's interesting that they say that like that, And it was the weirdest thing that they said it, because until then I didn't even consider that she would be some kind of a scammer, So at that point I started doubting a little bit everything, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna talk to her, but I'm not gonna spend too much time talking to her now. Until she actually delivers something to me, I'm gonna be much more cautious. So at that point she started talking kind of back, but not to them, but to me. started saying something like, well, that's their tactic because they don't want to raise your rates, obviously. So that's just another sign that they're being unfair. Like they don't want to negotiate, right? I'm like, okay, I guess that works too in my head. But again, the doubt was there. The doubt was definitely there already. And I started doubting just everything. I'm like, okay, well, just, let me know if you have something for me. We just won't deal with previous contracts. I'll just finish them off as is. So she started immediately sending me some requests like, yeah, we have this big brand. It's a very big beauty brand that has a good budget. We can do 2 videos and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, send over the contract. I'll look over it. Because again, so far it's been just a lot of yapping and talking, which was great and inspirational, but let's get to the actual work and numbers. So she kept talking about the one contract, coming back with requesting, do you want to do 2 or 3? Do you think this budget? Do you think this date? And then she was like, well, we pay off 7 days ahead before you posting live. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds pretty cool, because I don't understand how would you scam anybody, right? If you pay ahead of time. And if you don't pay ahead of time, then I just won't post anything, right? I mean, that's just cool. Usually most companies pay off about 45 to 90 days after the posting date to you, so you don't really see money until much later. I kind of hope for the best when you especially work with new brands or new companies, that they won't forget about you. Started getting very short with her. And again, another one of these middlemen reached out to me separately from their billing department. And they were like, Maria, we love working with you. I just wanted to inform you that if you change your accounts to do a payoff through this Grace person, we really highly recommend you not doing it and just continue getting paid through your personal, whatever, business accounts that you used before versus through her. And they say, we just highly recommend you doing that because we've heard really terrible stories, and please don't do that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, that's very suspicious. So after that email, we decided to investigate a little deeper, and we decided calling those agencies directly. So we called the New York office, we called the San Francisco office of this agency, and they basically said that they do not have this employee. This Grace was not their employee. So I wrote her a message, and I tried not to be violent in how I said things because I still was kind of so confused of what was actually happening. I couldn't see a pathway for her to get any money from me if they pay 7 days before the posting date. If I would receive actual products, right? If I give her address. I didn't sign any contracts, and she didn't ask to sign any contracts. So I was just so confused of what was going on and how was she getting in and out. I still could not understand it. At the end, I wrote to her that we called the agency and we were told that she's not an employee, and that I was feeling betrayed and heartbroken by this information. I said nothing else after that. I didn't say I'm not going to work with you. So I was trying to be still respectful, but also personally saying that I'm disappointed that this is the news that I found out, and kind of leave the question open. And she has never responded after that. Not one time. Can you believe that? I'm still trying to, it just bugs me so much. How was she going to get paid? How do you scam somebody? Like how you get the contract, right, from a huge supplier, right, from a huge company, let's say some beauty product, right? You have to send it to me. Even if I sign contract to do that, I also upheld a lot of responsibility from them as well. So they have to send me the money. I'm going to look over the contract that they're going to send me. They're going to send me the product, exactly the product that I asked for. And I know when it arrives, that it will be shipped from a certain brand. It's not going to be shipped from China or some random address out there. I've received products before and they always come from the headquarters or like their address that's legit and solid. So at what point do I get trapped? I don't understand. I was so curious. So anyway, but yeah, I got really excited and I shouldn't have. But the bottom line is that was the end of it. I thanked those middle ground people who helped me and encouraged me not to work with this person, because honestly, if they wouldn't have said anything, I probably wouldn't have even known that it was some kind of a scammer. Okay, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the sparkly, shiny, shimmery colors. Doesn't look so incredible. Oh my gosh. Just 4 pieces of eyeshadows, and this palette was $14. So sorry to say it's not an abnormal or obnoxious number to me for the quality that you're getting. Look at this shine. Oh my god. Hope you can see it. It is such a fine shimmering grain. Like it's very fine. It's not clunky. It does not fall off. And it does not age me, because oftentimes the sparkles really, I feel like, look immature on me personally. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm also gonna put under the eyebrow this Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand highlighter. Take a tiny bit and put it right under my eyebrow to kind of highlight it and give it a little shine. So that is my story about the scammer, you guys. Almost got trapped. Still so confused. I don't know, to this day I just don't understand the path of how she would have gotten the money. And then it even made me even more upset, because I'm like, you know, I'm a pregnant lady, you know, are you really gonna scam a pregnant lady? Let's move on to eyelashes. As I said before, I love my Lancome Booster Serum. So I'm just gonna, okay, I'm trying to kind of spread out my eyelashes so they're already fanned out. I'll tell you about this mascara that I'm trying. So it costs like $7 on Amazon. It's by brand Eveline Cosmetics. Same thing, I've heard about this brand from this influencer girl that I watch, which I love, and it's called Volume Celebrities Mascara, and I really like it. I'm trying it out again still. Very inexpensive, beautiful silicone brush. She told that this is her all-time favorite for like many years now, and she also has kind of similar eyelashes to mine that are already like are long themselves anyway. That looks pretty good. I'm actually gonna look into this brand Eveline now, because I've never heard of it before. And just as I mentioned before, I use this tinted moisturizer, oil-free by Laura Mercier. It's actually almost finished for me. I'm very grateful that I don't have any kind of heavy pigmentation during this pregnancy. I have a few sunspots that are pretty small still. So I don't have any acne. Very, very glad, very blessed. I've had terrible acne in my mid-20s. That was the worst time. Very big, very cystic, painful.
Hi.
Как красиво, Милаша. Dear mom. Will, right?
We are having so much fun.
Oh my goodness, you did great. Milashka. Very proud of you. You're really writing, huh?
I just don't know how many hours. Oh.
Bye. Bye. Have fun. I'm just going to continue. So for my contouring, I use this Hoola Light you know, I like gardening. And in her kindergarten class, they're obviously looking for volunteer parents all the time. And I have signed up to be a garden parent. So I am a garden parent along with the other girl, with the other lady who has her son in the same class. So we've had already 2 garden classes this year. We had one September, one October, and there's another one coming up for November. The other lady is a bit more shy. The other mom, she's a bit more introverted, you can tell. She's knowledgeable and sweet, and she kind of gives me the reins of control much more than I expected. And it's been the cutest thing. Oh my gosh. I'm like low-key thinking maybe I should be a teacher. I have never in my life worked with children, and these kindergartners are so sweet. I mean, they can be hard sometimes, right? And the class that we have is quite easy, you know, it's a gardening class, so it's more exciting, more like hands-on stuff. So like planting things or taking things out. And it's been so exciting. The kids really listen to me most of the time. And they're all so excited that I'm Mila's mom. I seem to like have a good flow, maybe just with this class specifically, I'm not sure. So I do my nose contouring with the same one, just the flat brush. So anyway, and I've been really enjoying these classes. Is that weird? I mean, I thought I would be nervous, and I do get nervous, I get sweaty. Especially being pregnant, like, you know, running around, trying to be active and engaging and talking over a group of children. So I don't know, it's been really cool. I'm like, after the first time that I did it, I was like riding the wave of excitement. I was like thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I should be a kindergarten teacher. Because they were just so much, like so awesome. I understand that these children, they turn different once a certain age comes in, you know. But this age, it seems so nice. And I get excited coming up with new items to talk about. You know, the first month we talked about the life cycle of sunflower, and they have softly guided curriculum that you should be sticking to, but you really don't have to. And so the first we did the sunflower life. So we took them to the garden, and the school garden, showed them the actual sunflowers, how they grow, how the birds eat the seeds from them. We picked up some seeds, you know, we planted some seeds. And then we did the pumpkin. So we cut the pumpkin, got the guts out, and like kind of everybody played with the guts. Then we took those seeds, put them in the planter. I know they won't grow. I explained it to them too, but it was fun just, you know, messing around with it. Then I brought some roasted pumpkin seeds so they could try them and test them and taste them. And all the kids loved the roasted pumpkin seeds. And I don't know. Then we did like a little sticker project, and it was just so fun. It was a lot, you know. Our class only like maybe 1 hour per month, but it was so much fun. I loved it so much. I did not expect to like it this much. Okay, and then we're gonna finish off with the House Labs translucent blurring powder. Okay, they left, so now I have a couple hours to record those 2 videos. It'll probably take me about 3 to 4 hours to record those 2 videos, most likely. I have most of the things set up and ready to go. So a couple more things I got from that Romand as well. And these 2 lipsticks. So I got one that's called Canyon, and it's a dewy full lip gloss. I'll show you real quick. It's very satisfying packaging, by the way. How cute is this packaging? So it's a bit more warm tone, kind of rusty, a tiny bit rusty. I'll do it on my hand, okay? It's a very smooth. The other one is called Lasting Melting Balm in Lovely Pink. So it is a balm, like a melting balm. It's very pink in here, but it's actually not that pink when you apply it. Still using my lip pencil in Pink or Suede by Sephora. Okay. So I'm going to apply the lip gloss first. They did have mauve shade, which I should have probably went with. It's a little too brown. So I've been kind of wiping it off like that and then just literally going over with the balm over top. Oh, it smells great, you guys. This one, it feels good and it smells good. This one matches my color right now, which I'm not going to be wearing for this video. I might put more of a shiny lip gloss, like a clear lip gloss over top, just to kind of create more shine. Okay, but other than that, I'm pretty much all done. This is it. This is the makeup. I must say, I've tried applying for their ambassadorship because I kind of want to work with the romance because I truly love this brand. Oh my gosh! But you have to have a page on TikTok and you have to be active on Instagram, which I'm not, and I don't really do TikTok, so I can't be their ambassador, I guess. So, which is a bummer. And thank you so much for watching, for your constant support and love. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna be doing more vlog videos here too. As you can see, I'm a little bit more active. I try to do at least one in like almost a couple weeks, if not every week. So I'm gonna try keeping it up. I didn't do a garden update in a very long time. So I'll do some garden update next. And let me know what else you want to see from me. Okay, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.